tell me how it looked with all the white paper?
I said it's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's all good. I'm coming through with what?
Your pictures and stuff like that after I do this take. I'll stop if I need a beer. No, water. Well, what's the intro for this like?
Right now.
Yeah. What kind of...
This is how it's going to go, Regan. Scooter news.
My Syndicate street stall. You reckon? Yeah? Yeah, no, that's good, that's good. Perfect intro to start it off. Hey guys, how you going? My name is Regan Thompson. I'm here at Syndicate Street Stall with Reese Jones. So, we're going to try something a little different for us. We're actually going to bring you guys scooter news starting from now on. We're not sure how regular. Try and do it once a week, maybe more, depending how much news there is and what we feel like talking about in front of a camera and broadcasting to the world of scooter riders out there on the internet. We've got a fair bit to get through since this is our first one, so I'm just going to kick it off right now. We actually had the Syndicate Street Jam on the 23rd of October, just been last weekend. We had a lot of people come around from all over Australia for that. We actually had one dude from America here, shout out to Evan Hyman, who came through. I want to give a shout out to the sponsors. We've got Flavour, Vex, Black Pearl, Unfair, MGP, Ride 858, Envy, Wise, Lifeboat and Ethic. So all those sponsors, they actually put in real cash money for the event, and that's the cash money that we gave away as prizes on the day. That's what motivated everyone to shred and just go crazy. So we started off at Roma Street. That was the first spot. Max Peters, 180 back into stair set. Apparently there's no such thing as a flare unless it's back into a quarter, so it wasn't a flare down the stair set. There it is. Yeah, it was a 180 backy. He did a whip bar up it as well. So this is a Roma Street mani pads, like 4 or 5 stairs. So it was pretty gnarly to whip bar up it. We had Jared Begg from Syndicate. He actually did a 3 triple whip down it and a 3 whip bar down it. He did something else as well. I can't exactly remember what it was, but it's in the video. There's a video of it on YouTube. We actually live streamed the whole event as well, so that's pretty cool. Brendan Holt did a half cab bri down the stair set. Juzzy Carter did a whip to finger rewind. That was super gnarly. And then Kev Austin, he surely would have won, or would have won some of the money anyway, if he landed his full whip or a rotor heel up the stair set. I can't remember if it was a full whip or the rotor heel. Alright, moving on now to the second spot, so the chrome rail. Chrome rail was awesome. We actually got kicked out by the cops, so if you don't know chrome rail in Brisbane City, you probably will if you've seen the Street Jam video or if you were there, but if not, it's a pretty awesome rail, really narrow run up, big fat rail, and then the landing is like kind of footpath and then straight onto road. So we had like nearly 100 people there on the day. Unfortunately, the cops came just as it really started getting heated, but the tricks that went down were Kevin Austin with his lip to fakie and then full cab onto the road. That was super gnarly. Juzzy did a back sugarcane down it to whip out. That was crazy. And then Nathan from Lifeboat Scooters, he actually came through, did a chink front board to whip. So that was super cool. And then the cops came. One of the boys looked like he was going to get arrested actually, but he didn't. And we all just bailed. We were live streaming at the time. You can see it in the live stream. 50 or 100 of us just zooming down the road, and we actually bailed really quickly up to a car park spot. Once we got up to the rooftop ledges, like I said, that was just like a running away from the cops kind of spot. We just ended up at that spot, and so we started throwing down. Things that went down were Dylan Ryan with the feeble to fakie scooter nose mani. Zayden actually front feebled up the whole ledge. I thought he was going for a 50, I wasn't sure, but yeah, he ended up doing front feeble up the whole ledge to 3 out, and he might have even done a 180 bar out and was going for a 3 bar or something. That was pretty gnarly. From there, we moved on to the 4th spot, Kangaroo Point. So at Kangaroo Point, it's actually a 3 block, followed by another 3 block, followed by 4 block. Dylan Ryan did a fast plant front flip down the 4 block. There was a front 3 bar and a 3 whip by Nathan Fleming down the 4 block, so that was super cool. And then we put up cash, either $50 or $100 for whoever could do the dopest combo down the 3, then the 3, then the 4. And Kev did a full whip the first 3 block, then a bar down the next 3 block, and then a whip bar down a 4 block at the end. And then Juzzy did, I remember Juzzy did something crazy. I can't remember exactly what it was. Another thing, you'll have to check the live stream. If I haven't said yet, it's on our Facebook page, Syndicate Street Store. From there, we went to Botanical. So this, every year, we try and put some different spots into the street jam. We always end up at Botanical for the last spot, and we probably always will until it gets capped or ripped out. It's just a really gnarly, nice, mellow 14-stair handrail with 2 out ledges on each side, so it's like a symmetrical spot, goofy, regular. It's just, yeah, perfect for that. Dylan Ryan front flipped that, or fast plant front flipped that, so that's crazy to fast plant front flip a 14 stair. That's just like Dylan Ryan's thing, and go to any street jam, any spot basically, and yeah, he'll fast plant fronty that. I'm not sure how much further he can take it than Botanical, but you know, we'll see. The craziest thing I saw from the whole day was a dude named Tyson Ricks from Ipswich. That dude was just crazy. So this dude went up on the ledge on the side and then hand plant dropped the bar spin off the ledge off the side of the 14 stairs. So really it would have been like 16 stairs high. Like that's just mental. He also did a few more crazy tricks. What did he do? He did Superman off it, and he did a cannonball off it, and he was trying some other tricks too that he didn't get, like a whip umbrella or something. That won't be in the video because he didn't land it. But yeah, make sure you watch that video and check out Tyson's clips. That was just insane. Tyson Ricks from Ipswich. He's Austin Ricks' brother. Austin Ricks rides for MGP Australia, so check him out as well. What else happened? Juzzy Carter did a lip heel down Botanics, and he did a back lip whip, so 2 crazy tricks. The lip heel to me is just like, I just reckon that's so much cooler. I'm not sure which one would be harder for him, but I think the lip heel is like, man. Kevin Austin, I'm pretty sure he hurricaned Botanical as well. I know he was doing something on it, and it could have been a lip, but I'm pretty sure he hurricaned it. And then Connor, one of our little homies from Fam Hungry, he actually broke 2 joints in his knee and tore some ligaments trying to board slide the rail, like the youngest dude there to do it. And yeah, he just came off the wrong way and just, yeah, completely demolished his knee. So yeah, that sucked. Shout out to Connor. Hope you get better soon. Wishing you a really speedy recovery so we can ride again. And we had a bike rider crank arm grind down Botanical. I'm pretty sure Guy Parrott would have double pegged Botanical. He does every year at the street jam. But yeah, this dude on his bike, I don't even know his name. He was just mates with Danny P and was talking to Guy Parrott all day. And yeah, to come to a scooter jam, you know, full of scooter riders, normally cop a lot of hate from skaters and bike riders. Just to see a bike rider come through and crank arm that rail for us was just like, yeah, just amazing. So that wraps it up for the street jam. And there's a live stream, so you can see like the full madness of the day. There's like 5 different live streams on our Syndicate Street Store Facebook page. And there's a video on our YouTube channel. So if you're watching this, you're on our YouTube channel, click the Syndicate Street Store thing, go to videos, look at Syndicate Street Jam 2016. You'll be able to see it. So that about wraps it up for events. Can I do my job? Next up on the list, we've got new parts. So some of these aren't exactly like new, some haven't even come out yet, some have been coming out for ages, blah blah blah. I'm still going to run through them, just the things that I've been seeing on social media. One thing that I've seen is the new Phoenix deck. I first saw it in Cooper Clark's clips, and I thought, oh, that looks like an eye on it. It's just like cut out the head tube and stuff, and I thought, no, you probably wouldn't do that. It would be a prototype new Phoenix deck. So yeah, I can see in the head tube it's got little cutouts, and then after Kai Saunders recently went to America, I noticed he had that deck as well with the little cutouts on it.
What deck are you riding at the moment? Well, there it is. The Phoenix Ion, the nice one.
Isn't it a prototype?
Something like that. I mean, it's got cutouts on the head tube. Something like that. I mean, if it ain't in the store, it must be.
I saw Kai doing a 5.0 on it as well. So, you know, Phoenix Ion type deck with 5.0 space at the back, 5.0 dropout. Sounds pretty cool. If they are doing that and it's 5 wide, I hope it's 5 wide on the bottom as well, just so you can get like maximum 50 space. That'd be awesome. Moving on, the new Addict stuff. So it has already been talked about. It's not really a secret anymore. Addict's never really been secretive about their stuff. They've actually been really, they'll drop links and leaks of pictures to stuff way, way, way before it's out. Like this stuff a long time ago. The Blacksmith deck. I've been seeing around on websites there, and you know, from their social media, the flint short pegs, a steel peg, a smaller peg for the back of the deck. They've also got the Bear Claw SES, so their SES has like a steel insert going through it so that the bolts tighten into that instead of into the aluminium of the clamp, just so you can, you know, really tighten it up. The Shield clamp, so it's got the same little metal insert and the bolts that go into that instead of the aluminium. That's just a 2-bolt double clamp. Obviously it would be for HIC. I'm pretty sure from the pictures I saw it came with a shin. And then they've got the Relentless forks. So I really like the top half of that fork, the way it looks. I think it looks so sick. As it gets down to the bottom of the fork, I think it gets a bit chunkier than what I like in a fork, but everyone's different. Yeah, so it looks like a really, really cool fork. The wheels on it seem to be the new 30mm wide Eagle wheels. So yeah, that fork will be compatible with the new Radix wheels, so that's pretty dope. And I've seen and heard about an Addict Baphomet bar. That's the title that I've been seeing, but I haven't seen pictures for it. So if that's a new Addict bar that they're bringing out, and there's a Baphomet bar and there's pictures for it, hit us up. Someone show us a photo. We're really keen to see it. Moving on to the new Addict decks. So they've got a Sabbath deck. This, not the Blacksmith, the Sabbath deck. That would be, I guess, the equivalent to, if you remember when the first Addict stuff came out, they had the TAOS, the Art of Shredding, the Chaos, whatever you want to call it. The specs that I've got for that are that it's 560 long, which is 22 inches. It's 5 inches wide on the top, but not on the bottom. I'm not sure until I actually held one how wide it would be on the bottom. Probably 4.5, probably not even that. I can't imagine them being amazing for 50s if you see the angle on the bottom of them, but that's never, you know, Addict decks have never really bragged about being awesome for 50s. Chuck pegs on there. A lot of any Addict riders, or most of the Addict riders do that from what I've seen, or just run it straight how it is, whatever floats your boat. It's 83-degree head tube angle, so yeah, won't smash in the gut or anything like that. I did see specs and some pictures for an Addict Peasley deck, which was 570 long, so 22.5, and that's by 5 inches wide, and it had an 82.5-degree head tube angle. I know that the Logan Fuller has been advertised to have an 83-degree head tube angle, and just check it's got the same length and width as the Peasley, 570 long, 22.5 long, by 5 wide, with an 83-degree head tube angle. I definitely see a more common thing with Americans, SIG parts, or just American parts in general, having the 83-degree head tube angle over the 82.5. Most people think it's, you know, for like taller people. I'm pretty sure someone told me Logan Fuller was not really tall. He was actually on the shorter side. So, you know, it's completely personal preference for head tube angles. You don't have to be, you know, super tall or super short to ride a different type of head tube angle. There's also the Johan Maru. That's been advertised as 545 millimeters long, which is 21.4 inches, and that's 5 inches wide. Again, going back to the 82.5-degree head tube angle. So, yeah. The graphics for these look really cool. The Blacksmith deck itself came out looking really nice. I remember in 2014 when Matt McKean was still on Addict, he actually came to Australia for the first Street Jam, and he had a Blacksmith deck, and I'm pretty sure that's the one that got given to Logan Fuller, and then Logan Fuller rode it for like a year or 2 years or something before it eventually snapped. That thing went through the paces with the testing. It's pretty cool to see Addict kind of keeping it real with their style. There was, you know, a lot of kind of beef went down with when Kevin left working for Addict and started Ethic, and he released the Untold Story explaining, you know, all that, why he left and what was happening and what he's doing now, which, you know, turned out to be Ethic and stuff. And Addict just really, you know, everyone was like, oh, Addict's dead. And then it kind of sat pretty still for a while. You didn't see too much or hear much from them. And they dropped like a couple revamped versions of the Art of Shredding deck in between all this. And now they just seem to be, you know, actually these parts seem to be just hitting the market. I think some places are showing pre-orders. Some places I looked at were showing them available. The fork, the SCS, and the clamps were showing available in some places. So yeah, that's Addict is back, and they seem to be keeping it pretty G. Moving on, we've got the new Completes range rolling out from Envy Scooters. So they're going like 2 or 3 years strong now with the Colt, the Prodigy, and then the KOS. So the KOS has got 3 different, you know, models: the Heist, the Soul, and the Charge. And then the Prodigy, they've just got like the 5 or 6 colours of it. And then there's the Colt with just the 3 colours of it. So I've got here the specs for the Colt. The Colt comes in blue, green, and red. It's got a total weight of 3.4 kilograms. The bar width is 20.5 inches, and the height is 22.8. They come with a 4.7 inch wide deck, and it's 19.5 inches long. So those ones were retailing, from what I can see, at around 229 Australian dollars or 219 Australian dollars. I'm not too sure. We'll have ours in store really soon, like in the next couple of days actually. Probably they might be installed before you see this video, depending how long Reese takes to edit it up. Who knows? But yeah, that's the specs for the Envy Colt. And then moving on, we've got the Prodigy. So the Prodigy is a little dearer. That's like the intermediate range scooter. That one goes up around, this one I saw pre-orders around for $269 or $259 or something. I've got here that it's available in a black and oil slick, a polished and teal, a black and red bandana, and then a candy and a smoke blue, or a candy and smoke blue. The deck for this one is 19.5 inches long, and it's 4.7 inches wide. It does have the nylon front blunt plate in the deck for these ones. The bars, chromoly bars, they're 24.5 inches high by 21.5 inches wide. They're standard new Envy grips that they've been rolling with for all their Prodigies so far. 2-bolt clamp with 6mm bolts, the IHC CNC V2 fork, so same fork. They do have new wheels, and these wheels are 120mm, so the Prodigies recently came with 110s, now they come with 120s. It's got a nylon flex brake with a 5mm bolt, and I've got here that they weigh 3.7 kilograms in total, so yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so moving on to the KOS range, starting with the Charge. The KOS Charge comes with a Galaxy Hydro dipped deck. It's got aluminium bars and the blue hollow core Envy wheels. Now the hollow core Envy wheels, I saw a picture where they actually protrude out a little bit, so the wheels are thicker than the core, so that's pretty cool. Bit of innovation there from Envy. There's the KOS Heist. Now the KOS Heist is the neochrome deck and clamp with black Reaper bars and hollow core wheels, black hollow core wheels again with the rib on the hollow cores. And then moving on to the KOS Soul, that one's got the chrome deck and the chrome clamp. It's got black soul bars, which are the Envy's like T-bars with a little cutout in them. That's probably my favourite Envy bar, even though I was recently riding the Reaper bars. Looks wise, I prefer the look of those soul bars. I've always liked the gussets and a little cutout on that, they're really cool. And yeah, they've got the chrome hollow core wheels. I've got here that they weigh 3.5 kilograms, so pretty standard. Complete scooters, you know, all of theirs are coming in at that 3.5 kilogram. Most decent complete scooters are. The bar width is 22.8, so we're starting to get a bit bigger now. The bar height is 25.5 and the deck width is 4.7. And just moving on to my next page, it's a 505mm long deck, so 19.8 inches, so a bit bigger than the other ones. And yeah, that's it for the new range from Envy scooters and the Colt, the Prodigy and the KOSs. Yeah, they'll be in store with us really soon, maybe even by the time you see this video, if not very shortly after. Moving on, something I saw about 2 weeks ago that really caught my eye was the Chilli Pro Scooters IHC everything compression. That's what I'm calling it, because it's literally a compression that you can, run anything with, other than maybe ICS. I'm not too sure about ICS. I think I remember seeing you can if you ran the bolt up through it, a bolt that's thinner than the thread. But anyway, okay, so the thing about this compression is I've actually thought so many times, and I've even joked about it before, like how can you make a new compression? When people started doing IHC, that wasn't really a new compression. That was just like, okay, there's HIC, and now they've made a smaller version of it. And to me, it seemed 100% pointless, because why make the forks smaller to have standard size bars on it when you could have just had normal size forks and then a HIC and then oversized HIC bars, which would be stronger anyway than the thinner bar. So they made the forks thinner so they could use thinner bars. To me, IHC just never really made sense, but it's definitely become a thing and there is no escaping it. It's like fully made its way into the scooter industry, and I can't see it going anywhere anytime soon from complete scooters and stuff. It literally is HIC, but it's just smaller. But the Chilli Pro Scooters fork, the diamond fork with the spider compression is what they call it, because as you can see in this picture, it's got 4 prongs coming out from the top that slot into fork cutouts grooved into the fork. And when it's slid into this fork, it's not bigger than the width of the fork. So you could completely get rid of this thing and you can run SCS or HIC and it's fine. Or you can just slide this thing over and run it with your IHC, because it's got that shim that goes down and meets the IHC top race that you would see in like the Envy scooters forks if you've ever run the Envy IHC compression. So to me, I think that's really awesome, just because if IHC is a thing in scootering, and yeah, I can't see really a reason why a lot more forks won't start coming with grooves like that, hopefully for like a universal version of that adapter, because then it's just like we won't have to have smaller aftermarket forks. We can have the same diameter aftermarket fork for every fork, and they can just come IHC compatible, which would mean they would have these 4 grooves in it. To me, that's just insane. Chilli Pro Scooters, I've seen their stuff before and I can't ever say I was really impressed by the way their stuff looks or the quality of it really or anything. They've been off my radar for ages now, and then I just randomly saw this and I was like, damn, they are bringing some pretty serious innovation into scootering, so I wouldn't be surprised if that just completely took off. Moving on from that, next we're going to go to the Ethic DTC New 12mm Standard. That's also not something completely new. They've been promoting it for a while, talking about it for a while. Proto's been doing it as well, experimenting with it. I know AO has also been experimenting with it from what I've been told. I don't know who else has been experimenting with it, but it's a pretty awesome idea. And the concept is that, well, it's not a concept anymore, it's fully coming out. It's like just hit the market from Ethic Scooters. What it is right now you've got an 8mm axle in your scooter deck at the back and through your scooter fork, and you're running 110mm wheels with tiny little 608 bearings. So the theory is you need a bigger, stronger, faster bearing, a bigger, faster wheel, also a wider wheel instead of 24mm like what they are now, 30mm wide. It's just, it all just makes sense, like the size that riders are now. Like scooter riders are getting older and older and sticking with it longer and longer. So, you know, tiny scooters just don't cut it, and everyone's been making big parts, but they've kind of leveled out. Like, you can't make them much bigger without it starting to look and feel a little bit out of proportion. So these new 125 millimeter diameter wheels that are 30 millimeters wide are just awesome, and they come with 6001 bearing, which is a way bigger bearing, like that big instead of like that big. See the images for reference. A bigger axle, so a stronger axle. So with a bigger axle, what it means is you can then have bigger pegs, so bigger double peg area, bigger ice pick area, nose pick area, just everything going bigger. And you couldn't go that big, you can't go that big with the little 8 millimeter axles. It's just like, they just bend straight up. I put big pegs on a couple of weeks ago to ride pegs again, and just bent them straight away, and I just thought, I cannot friggin' wait to get my hands on the new Ethic 12mm standard. It changes a few things though. It's not going to be compatible with everything unless you like drilling out your forks, and even if you drill out your forks, the wheels are going to be too big to go in it. So the way Ethic's selling it is you literally get everything but the bar, and that's it. Then you put your own bars on it, or, you know, I'd recommend getting some Ethic bars with it because it'll just all go and be awesome. They are making it so that the new 5 wide Iconoclast deck will be made to suit that standard, but there is adapters, so if you still want to run just your 110mm wheels, you can. You just put these adapters in, and then, you know, it's all the same. You can run the new Ethic Nemesis forks that come ready for the 12mm standard axle. You can just put your 8mm standard adapter in there and still run your 110 mils and stuff. Obviously, it's all going to feel better and be better with the big wheels, the big deck and big forks and stuff, but you can chop and change it all. So they've made it as much as they can compatible with everything with the use of spacer adapters. And really, it's just a massive testament to Kevin DeMay and his like genius mind that he has for designing scooter parts. We've seen it like from so long ago. All the best scooters that we've ridden all over these years, so much of it has come from Kevin DeMay. So massive props to him and just everything he's done for scooters, really. And this new 12mm standard is exactly what he's saying. A standard like this is gonna be a thing. There's no escaping it. I know I'm already looking at putting that into the product development for the lifeboat parts that we're doing. If you are making new scooter parts, you need to go on the Ethic Facebook page and look for the open source file of the new 12mm standard, because unlike most other scooter companies, Kevin DeMay is purely in this for the progression of scooters. He has made a graphic file for you with the measurements to suit, so that you can make your aftermarket parts compatible with the new 12mm standard. This is to push scootering. He's not trying to keep it to himself and go, no, you've got to buy the Ethic stuff if you want to run this. Ethic. He's making it, he's setting the standard, he's raising the bar, and he's saying, hey, anybody else, if you want to do this, we encourage you to do it. This is the way forward for scooterers. That is legit, and that is why I'll always refer to Kevin DeMay as the god of scooter design, and most other people would as well. So yeah, that's the new Ethic 12mm standard. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. The pegs are huge, everything's huge, it's awesome. Anyway, we're moving on now to the Flavor Scooters Awakening 4.8 wide Jabba decks. I've seen them floating around for a while. I've known they were coming for ages because I speak to Dean, I speak to Jabba. I'm really hyped about these. I can't say too much now. I know more than what I'm about to say, but yeah, they're 23.5 long. They've got a completely square back and nearly a square front, and they must just be so close to dropping. As soon as they do, I want to be on one. Everyone should be on one. Yeah, Jabba, Jasper Russell Dennis, my homie from New Zealand in the Yes Please crew. Congratulations. Your signature deck looks friggin' amazing. The Jabba 4.8, 23.5 long, square dropout flavor is coming. That's awesome. I can't wait for that. Reese is getting tired, so I'll wrap it up now. Nah. We are now moving on to the video section of this week's scooter news. First up, just want to congratulate Andrew Zamora on his Welcome to Pro for the Vault video. That was insane. Like the description on YouTube says, it's just pure hammers, one after the other. That video is insane. Props to Andrew Zamora on that whole video. Moving on to Ryan Gold. Ryan Gold's video. He just released a video for River Wheel Co. for his signature Savage Glides. I remember this dude from 2012. That 2012 street edit with the thumbnail with the flowers. That's what I think of when I hear Ryan Gold, and I just always have been mind blown by his tricks since then. Just when I watch his videos, the tricks that he does are just insane. Ryan's sponsored by River, Kovu, Epic Scooters, and Scooter Zone. Yeah, make sure you jump on the River Wheel Co YouTube and check that video out by Ryan. That was insane. There was the Balkan strip, or the Balkan strip from Blunt Scooters, you know, to anyone in Australia, Envy, Blunt, same thing. That was a pretty hectic mix of street and park riding. I would prefer more street in a video like that, but that's definitely classic Envy, Blunt style. You know, the mix of the, you know, street riding at a park, and then, you know, mixed in with a bunch of really gnarly street spots and clips. Yeah, you can't take away from how gnarly their riding is. Like, all their riders just absolutely kill it in that respect. Check out that video. The production on that video too was really awesome. Super duper shout out to the Tilt Scooters dudes with that Toronto video. Everyone just like shared that video saying like, wow, trust Tilt to do a video like this. It was just done so proper. They set an amazing standard for riding and the video production in scootering. Something about that video, you can just feel the vibe, like from the whole team, you know, just pouring out through the video. Like, it was just awesome. There's always something special about Tilt videos, or Tilt videos like that. Like, that was just gnarly. And yeah, shout out to Isaac Miller, the viciousness. Yeah, just wow, it was so gnarly. Yeah, Toronto video. That wraps it up for our video section. Have the links in the description. Make sure you watch them videos if you haven't seen it. That just moves us on to the next section, which is for now just called Worth Mentioning. Just some things I thought would be worth mentioning. And one of them is Aaron Branston's black and white mini-series. So one night this week just been, he uploaded 3 black and white photos, one after the other, and they were just beautiful photos, like amazing photos. Aaron Branston just doing what he does. He's a lot of people's favourite scooter photographer from the Friendly crew in Sydney. So go to Friendly Facebook page, or whether it was on his Instagram, oh not Facebook page, Instagram, or his Instagram, I can't remember, but I'm sure you'll find it. A few other media outlets have been reblogging it and stuff like that. You might have seen it. If not, check it out. They're just dope. I think that's cool. The Unfair comeback. The original owners don't own it anymore. There's a completely new team. We've actually been stocking the stuff in here at Syndicate. It's, you know, good stuff. I was around when they were designing it. I was helping designing it and writing for Unfair Scooters at the time. So, you know, all these parts are pretty close to my heart, I guess you could say. So yeah, I'm stoked to have that on the shelf, and we actually got in a couple large Unfair Boulevard decks, so they're actually 21.5 inches long instead of 20.5, so be quick if you want a pretty decent length. Really, it feels like really good foot room as well. I was just riding it this afternoon. It's awesome. I've actually got it just over here. Yeah. I've got the tapered T-bars on as well, so they're really light. My scooter's like a twig right now, but I love it. Yeah, and we are starting our own Australian rider-owned distribution company. The first brand we're going to be introducing and bringing into Australia is Wise Scootering. So shout out to my homie Balthazar from Dissident's crew over in France. I love what he's doing with Wise. It's just like, you go on wisescootering.com and you'll see what I mean. Like, this dude takes shit to the next level. Every single thing of his brand, just like the branding, the way that he does everything is just so professional and legit, and it's rider owned. It's all street, like everyone on the team is a killer, and I mean everyone. There's some new announcements to be made in the team section of that. I'm not going to say anything just yet, but you can start guessing and whatnot. And yeah, that stuff will be in mid-November, we're expecting. We are calling our distribution company a bit of a playoff on, you know, the retail outlet, Syndicate Street Store. The name is Syndicate Distribution. So yeah, it's just for all the scooter shops in Australia that want to get the Wise stuff or any of the stuff that we're going to be bringing into the country in the future. CKD, CK Distribution, Syndicate Distribution, that's what it's going to be, Australia's first and so far only rider-owned distribution company. Shout out to Forefront Supply, because they're a big inspiration to us in the way we do things, and Outset Select and stuff. Tommy Didano, you're a G, you're a big inspiration to us in what we do. And yeah, but yeah, we're starting a distribution company as well. Yay! And that wraps it up for this week's news. I'm sweating like crazy because the aircon's been off so that you can all hear me. And I'm actually rushing so that we can get this all on one SD card. This has been a super long video. It may have come through as 2 parts or 1 part. Thanks for watching. Let us know if this was shit. Should we do it again? Should we do it differently? syndicatestreetstore.com, or come and see us on Wynnum Road in Cannon Hill. Thank you. Goodbye.